On.
Stop, fuckers. Welcome to Table Throw, the D&D show.
He trusted you and you did him like this?
Take it away, Liam. Carry on.
I'm so hurt. Welcome to Table Throw, a weekly Dungeons and Dragons stream from 8 till 9.
Sorry.
It's perfectly fine.
You know, I've been thinking about doing that for a whole week.
Has that been your plan?
Do you know what I should do? Yeah, okay.
I'm
sorry anyone listening, you're not fuckers.
Just a little bit.
You really.
Just a little bit.
If anyone's the fucker, carry on.
I'm just gonna continue and ignore you. Following on from the last session, the party was basically following Ricard. Not much happened. Other than them kind of going to the Elven Embassy to meet one Bokar, the very man that put the party in prison. Why they did it, they're not quite sure, and they're questioning themselves. But
basically,
it's gonna be an adventure, so let's see what happens. I believe it left off with him having a proposition for everybody. A task, if you would.
Yeah, he said, like, let's do diplomacy.
What a guy.
Yep.
So, you guys all find yourself in the Elven Embassy. Door shut behind you.
Did they let Claw?
oh lord.
I feel like I should mention that I was ill before we start properly. I was ill last week, so I couldn't do any voices at all. And also, we are missing 2 players today.
Yep.
So, one's on holiday and one's moving, well, rooms, but...
God Squad is down for half. Jim Clay.
It's okay, Jim. Alright. So, you are currently in an office, Bokar's office. He revealed himself to be a high elf, long flowing golden hair. And he was very interested in seeing you all, and especially interested in seeing this new stranger who you are now travelling alongside.
Mention the other 2.
Well, well, there's 3 of you. There's 3 new people that you haven't seen before.
Yeah.
But he does seem to have interest in the fact that the group that he originally saw seemed to have escaped from prison somehow. I must say, it is wonderful seeing you all back. I didn't expect to see you for... well, I suppose the elf could have lived a 100-year service. However, sorcerer, you're getting on a bit, aren't you?
Sadly, I can't say that I feel the same way about meeting you again. It's quite dreadful, really.
Oh, isn't that a shame?
Burn him.
Well, I've come with a proposition for you. And you, Ricard. I could hand you in to the authorities. You are currently standing in the middle of a very well-guarded place, and wouldn't it be awful if all of the elven guards and the guards of Kalar were to come in this room and have to deal with you?
You've already recited this. Get to your point already.
I could forgive you, personally, for declaring such a horrid thing to this item. You see, as he reaches into his pocket and pulls out a lizard alive, and you see as he kind of takes it in his hand, it almost shifts the same kind of green color as his skin does. It goes on the desk and changes color again, and he casts a spell, and you see it looks dead immediately. And he snaps his fingers, and it almost regrows in front of you. And this happens extremely quickly. Like, he basically just throws it off onto the table, snaps his fingers, it dies, snaps his fingers, it's back to life.
Well, that seems excessive, but...
It's pretty cool, right?
Show
I have
off.
a question. Is Tia wearing a shirt?
She's got a magical
No.
shirt.
Yeah.
She's got a magical shirt, unless she dispelled that.
No, magical.
A magical
Tube
shirt
top.
that goes invisible.
It's a magical
Is that
tube
something
top.
you'll see through?
No,
Okay.
so see-through, it's like... Sometimes
Well-
see.
No, normal people won't see through it, but
Dragons
creatures-
will.
yeah, true sight.
Ah, true sight.
Now, I suppose I should let you know, being here, of course, in my presence is an awful honor, and I am going to be polite to you in the mission I give. I would not ask too much of you. I simply want you to run an errand, if you would. Just collect a few things. Not all of them are on this continent, so you'd have to go overseas, but it shouldn't take you too long, barring the fact you have transportation of your own sorts. Although I could fund you if necessary.
How long would...
That sounds a little bit too promising.
Oh, of course it does. I'm a diplomat after all. It's what we do very well.
Wait, I think Urgat's gonna step forward like, I don't know.
Yes, well, you've dragged yourself into the shit, as it were, because you currently stand in front of... You see him, he's currently staring down at you for interrupting him.
Wait, staring down? How tall is he?
He's around 6'5". Urgaf is 6'2", I believe.
No, I'm 6'5" as well.
Okay. He's staring levelly at you. Either his eyes are flat in your gaze. Yes, he is he's not a particularly strong looking man, but he's definitely got an aura to him. He's kind of got this graceful step as he moves from place to place. As he speaks, he subtly moves his head, and it's very hard to get a read on him, just in general.
Absolutely.
You've certainly pulled yourself into the shit, my friend, as it were, because you're now here, which means you're now mine. And you will do what I say, or else, again, I have some friends in that door who haven't killed something in quite a long time.
How long has it been since we killed something? Just, for refreshing my memory.
Well, I have to admit, Claw hasn't killed well.
It's fun that this seems to be a shared hobby among all of us.
Yes, shared hobby indeed. You all pretty good at looking useless.
Can I just say, how do you own me?
I own you because you're here. You see, my friend, I'm currently leading the Council of Kalar after the champion's dreadful and most sad fall. I currently am in with the Elven royalty. I control the mountain of Sarissa and the trade which comes from and to. And the hordes and those nasty little uprisings and the attacks, well, let's just say, they were not accident. How do I put this? Every shop you walk into is under my control. Every man you see in a street corner trying to sell you some weird little trinket is probably one who is under my wing.
I think back to the red tent with the dwarf in it, and I highly doubt what he's saying.
The good old communist vendor.
Yeah. Exactly.
Communist rug man.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so what is it that you would want us to do? Go fetch some things.
Yes. They may be relatively difficult to find, although I'm sure you could do it. It's in pieces at the moment, which is a bit of a shame, although I'm hoping to bring it back together, if you will. Specifically, I'm looking for parts of a staff. Its name is lost to legend, although I know it exists. I've found the first piece myself. I want you to find the rest. Well, I'm far too busy for that. I've got a whole, 3 kingdoms to run?
I think the first step for this, you want us to collect things for you, but the first step might be you collecting the things stolen from this group.
Oh, I very much have collected those pieces, and in fact, that was to be part of the deal. I would happily give all of you your items back, or at least most of them anyway.
Define most.
Well, unfortunately, times are tough in Kalar after the champion died, and the armies from the hordes are only riling up to fight in wars. There's some pieces...
I get it. You've gotten rid of some of them. Could you specify?
Well, not necessarily whole pieces. I've gotten rid of parts. I'll start with this. He pulls out the hilt and handle of Athena's rapier and places it down on the desk. The blade was fine, paid for and refined by a blacksmith, although the handle seemed too intricate to let go, at least without her trying to stab me in the face, so I did what I could to...
Can I kill him now?
You can try.
No, do not.
Athena is just seething with rage.
Oh, don't worry. We're all angry here. We're just bottling it up and keeping it down.
I'm going closely.
He then puts a single coin on the table. It looks like the one that you and Tia had. You both had the same design of coin. This little item, yes, it's interesting, certainly, although unfortunately the magic had to be dispelled on it. No divinity travels through this coin anymore. The other one sadly got lost down a drain. He doesn't seem to flinch as you run over to the table and quickly snatch up the... Are you grabbing the rapier as well? Or the hilt?
Both.
Yep.
Is it Athena's coin or mine?
You can't tell. Both of your coins were, again, the same make, and neither of them were more worn than each other.
I'm just gonna...
As for you, my shirtless friend, and yes, although the attempt is cute, it's not very impressive.
I'm not trying. It's for posterity. I'm not trying to hide it. But I guess some of the people I'm traveling with and some of the people that I've met are, averse to the natural state of the body.
I suppose. Anyway, I would have your he pulls out your top. It seems in fair wear. It doesn't seem like it's been damaged in any way. Again, unfortunately, any magic connection that this item could have has been dispelled, so you won't be able to focus your magic through it anymore, I'm afraid. Although, at least you can wear a top now and stop embarrassing us with the ability to see through thimble magics as your own.
The only thing out of character, the only thing I want to know is if I don't know what he's taken off. Has he got like the sandwich mate shaving kit?
He doesn't seem to have much else. What he does, go under the desk.
Ask what happened, but I can't.
If this is not my bagpipes, I'm gonna be very upset.
Tia puts on, acts out a look of surprise and sort of horror at this idea that, oh no, the arcane focus has been taken away. How very terrible. Oh no.
He then goes on to place a very large looking a pouch of gold. It's
Yes.
a lot of gold, and it's definitely more gold than the party have had previously.
Oh, okay.
I'll take it.
The following is 1,000 gold coins. This should hopefully get you through your attempt to get the staff parts. I don't have any leads on them. Of course, I do have a rough idea. One of them seems to be near in the other continent, and 2 of them are on this continent. He pulls out a second...
Wait, how many pieces are there?
There are 8 pieces of the staff. I have 1.
8.
You will be collecting 3, and your friend, Richard, will be collecting 4.
Why is there so many
Wait, your
pieces?
name is Richard? I thought it was Ricard.
I've never been good at saying words.
Oh, that's fine.
I was cursed to not even be able to say my own name.
Jim
Oh,
pats his
that's
leg awkwardly.
horrible.
My accent.
What about the rest of our things?
The rest of your things have, unfortunately been either lost or missing in transit. Some of the soldiers may have taken them.
I get it. You don't need to cover it up or sugarcoat it. Just say that you got rid of them. That's what I wanted.
I didn't get rid of them. The soldiers may have taken them for themselves. I have no idea.
Alright.
Finally, again, the second bag of gold. It looks slightly larger than yours. Ricard, my old friend, I know that you would like to do this journey as well for me, of course. Maybe I could give you the memory back of that sweet man that you helped throughout the years. Of course, you would have to pay the same price they are, and do me a favor. I expect you to get 4 pieces, being probably more able than the current group.
I'm just glaring at him.
Ricard kind of silently stares towards Bokar. There is almost a strange, undeniable tension in the room. It is very much that you guys are on one side of the room and he is on the other. There is almost a line between you, like the group and him.
Is it sexual tension?
That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, I don't know what's going on in Pav's head right now.
It's probably a love-hate thing going on.
Well, I suppose with that should be enough to get you started. Actually,
Was you just gonna a piece of a staff? Is that all the directions that you're giving us?
3 pieces of a staff, and one of them's on
Where
another
do we
continent.
start, you
That is
dumbass?
extremely unspecific. Like, could you possibly be more vague?
I could be more vague and just tell you to go do
That's
something.
a rhetorical question.
Well, I'm going to give you an answer. I will aid you in finding the pieces. I will give you information that I find. I can tell you that there's one buried in the heart of Vadar's tears. I can tell you that there is one on another continent, and I can also tell you that there is one somewhere dark. Somewhere where I don't really want to go because I might damage,
Because you're scared.
I'm not scared, dearie. I'm just not in the mood to go somewhere dark and horrible. I've had plenty of experiences in that kind of domain. I would recommend that you probably go to the other continent first. If you stay up around here too long, some guards may recognize you.
What is the purpose of this staff?
That's another item to add to my collection, of course.
Don't know
Of
evil
course.
mind.
Arcane value, I presume?
Oh, of course, it has plenty of arcane value. It's a staff that was used to do some quite amazing things. Tales which have not been told for hundreds of years.
Would I know anything about this sort of mythical staff?
You can make a history check on it, yeah.
Yes.
And I as well.
Yes, you can.
14.
Try.
Oh, character sheet. Get me out.
Again, you're trying to think of a powerful staff, and there's not really necessarily. There's examples of powerful wizards and powerful mages who would have staffs, but there's not any key staff which gives them power. It's usually the fact that they are powerful alone, and it's just an item to help
Wait, is history and
show their power. Intelligence, history is.
Do you have any sort
17.
of visual?
17.
Well, I don't know what the staff looks like until it's assembled, although I'm told it's a moderate
Well,
staff.
Didn't you said you had found one of the pieces?
Oh, I have found one of the pieces, yes, but
then
that's
you would
for...
have some idea of what it looks like.
I do have a rough idea of where this piece goes. You should be finding the actual staff, the handle of the staff, if you would. I've sent... I'm not too sure which piece is where, although I'm pretty certain the handle was scattered purposely, whereas the fragments of the top were dealt with in a different manner. And that's why it's been hard to track down. And that's what your good friend Richard will be doing. You, Urgaf, you know of powerful... You're trying to think of a powerful staff that exists. And there's only really one which is powerful that you know of. And it's not necessarily a genuinely powerful magic item, but it's just a staff that was used in one of the wars. Although he said hundreds of years ago, and there's not really a traceable war to that far back. There was a powerful staff in one of the Elven wars trying to conquest the whole actual continent. Other than that, there is no other staff you know of. And even that one you don't know the name of. But it exists.
this is a really good note. Nothing about it.
So you're just gonna send us on our merry way? Oh God.
Where is this?
The continent is south of Taimir, the continent we're currently on. It's a bit warmer down there, so you might need a change of clothing. Perhaps not you.
Yes, I'm good.
But the rest of you may be wearing clothing that's too thick and too warm. It's sandy. It's like an overgrown beach, if you would. The people there are interesting and hardy people, but I've not really delved down there too much, and I don't plan on doing so. There is boats from Fortune if you want to get down there. But other than that, maybe you are best starting off on this continent if you prefer. It's not my choice. I'm just here to give you the information.
Well, Old God's Rest is, well, close. Port Lane, fuck.
So if we do find one of these, is this a case of you want us to find one piece and then come back, or all of them and then come back?
I think because of the danger that you may be put into, it's possibly best that you return piece by piece, although I have a method, as I was going to show to you. He pulls out a little... It looks like an emerald. It's a very strange kind of green jewel, although it's cloudy inside, and it has this innate magical property to it.
Can I tell what school of magic?
You could try. Arcana check.
Yes.
Actually, sorry.
Oh, that's a natural one. Tia has no idea. It's not fire, so nope.
Yeah, you have no clue.
This gem isn't red. What is this?
This is blasphemy! What was that, Jacob, sorry?
Sorry, I was just gonna write down I can see it on the map, but it's fancy writing. Where's the place we get the boats? Is it
Fortune.
Yeah.
Fortune?
Like
Spelt like fortune, but fortune.
Just Fortune, just that, definitely. Great.
it's D&D. That's what you do.
I know, no, it's the best. I love it. I love it. Sorry, carry on.
Yes. This is a very peculiar item I've picked up. I'm not quite sure what it does myself, although it seems to have the innate ability to almost teleport things. The user will have the ability once a day to select an item and send it. It will come to this, and he pulls out, again, a similar looking stone, except it's actually cut and is on a ring. It'll appear through this. It'll basically... you don't need to know the details. It will come through to me.
Is it a one-way situation?
Yes, which is why I was going to help you out. If you need to message me in any way...
We can just... Yeah, no, I... Just curious.
Send a bit of paper through.
No. He pulls out a sheet, a really clean-looking sheet of some kind of paper, and again puts it next to the emerald. Any note you write on here will be sent to me personally, and I can message you back through magical means. I have the ability to. If I don't reply immediately, it's probably because I'm busy. But I should be able to. I'm usually someone who's available.
Alright.
And
Say this task is completed for you. You have imprisoned this group for an extremely long time and claim ownership over them. Say this task is done. Is their freedom earned?
I suppose you could call it freedom, although if they've proven themselves, I might want them for further ventures. I've paid them handsomely for the work they're doing, but if they've survived 9 months in the prison they survived in, I'm certainly not worried about... Let's put it this way. They would be free to a degree, except I would probably want them to be working for me. I'm a man of assets, and I would count them as a valuable one if they did such a favour for myself. However, if they were to fail, they would die to me as they lived to me, which is currently a waste of space and air. I hope you understand that I don't mean this in an aggressive way. I'm just saying you're unproven.
Oh no, don't worry, we feel the same way about you.
You can do. That is your opinion.
It's great. The God Squad and me.
Yeah,
Because
you
he
guys
really is.
are not like liable to actually do any of
It's
this.
just like, oh yes, you're a waste of space. Like, mate, you don't even.
I don't think he
I
cares.
was waiting for him to say, we're owned by you as well," and I was like, "Nope, no, we're not."
Oh no,
Try
he's
me.
like, oh, I owned you as well. I own you as well, God Squad. Like, no, oh God.
No, we are devoted purely to Talvor.
Speaking of Talvor, he kind of looks at Pav for a second and sees the holy symbol that she carries with her.
Uh-oh.
Interesting. You are followers of Talvor. I may have something you might be
What of it?
interested in. He stands. Well, he's standing. He walks over to a shelf where he pulls out a piece of parchment. It looks very old. It looks worn, but it's definitely got some innate power to it. He places it kind of on his. He takes a seat and then places it on his lap. This is actually one of the scriptures written by the Lord of Thunder herself, or himself, depending. I don't know which one you follow, but Talvor had written this down as a message to the dwarven kingdoms in their time of dire need. It's safe to say that this is something that should be in their royal vaults. Unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong hands and then wound up in mine.
You say that as if your hands are not the wrong ones also.
I do, dear, because they're not.
Of course.
Of course, you helping these poor prisoners out is also an act of criminality, which is to a degree where I could also put you in jail alongside them. So, I assume you will be.
Debatable.
It's not very debatable. I mean, if they die and you guys don't give me a staff part in a few weeks, then I suppose I'll just have to have somebody find you and throw you in jail.
I'm
The
just gonna look at
experience
him.
we've had with these people has been kind, whereas you have been threatening, obviously, of death and prison. So, it is debatable.
Certainly, and that's why we do diplomacy here.
I'm sorry.
Wonderful diplomacy.
Say.
Can I
How long
insight
do
check
we-
him to see if he's bullshitting?
You can give it a try. I need a die.
That is 16.
Nope. You kind of try finding a way to. He's very hard to break down. He's very confident, and there's this natural cockiness that he has. But there's also a weird sense about him. He feels the way he speaks, his body language. He just feels like he thinks he's superior, but not in a way which is I'm just better than you. In a way which is almost grown in something that has settled with him that he is better, rather than a natural thinking of it. He's confident the way he stands. He's got a good balance. He seems to know what he's talking about. It's very hard to find any gaps in what this guy does.
It's like Tia, but worse.
He's like
Yeah.
Tia gone to the dark side,
Tia has
basically.
a sense of humor. So wait, did he? How long? Do you
Yeah,
expect?
do we have a
us to fit
time
back?
limit?
You certainly do. I would suggest a staff part every 2 weeks.
I'm
If-
sorry, but do you know how long the trip?
I do know how long the travelling is, yes, but of course you can message me if there's any delays. The actual target is a piece per month, although that might be pushing it. The ones on this continent are closer, and the ones on the other continent are is further away. I understand, but with the ability to send them to me instantly, you can send them to me as soon as you see them, practically. The only real problem that there lies is if you have to travel from this continent to the sands. It's really not a big deal.
guess we'll get it done.
I hope you will get it done, because if you don't, I'll have to find you and kill you.
Yes, we've heard that.
Is that it?
Alright,
Can we
I
go
think-
now?
Yeah,
I suppose
But
in
quite-
regards to the scripture of Talvor, I suppose you're not just going to let me read it, I suppose.
Of course not, although I suppose if you prove yourself worthy, I could give it to you. It's not something I particularly care of. It's really just mumbo-jumbo written down by some supposed godly figure. It doesn't really matter to me.
Tim glares.
Oh, Tia.
If you have
Kinda
no reason,
eyes.
then why would you even show?
Well, I think it's always interesting to put some money on the table. You wouldn't be interested in helping me if I didn't have something to show for you. I suppose you are fighting for your freedom in a way,
Not
but
helping you, but helping.
He's a massive tease. You shit yourself. You just keep going, it'll just get boring after. What a toss.
So what is the proposal in regards to the scripture? We complete this, we have a look. We
possibly. It depends how I'm feeling on the day. If Ricard is as good as I remember him being, then certainly. However, if he's not as good, then we may run into some trouble. But I believe that you will get finished around the same time. He may not look it, but he's actually quite talented and knows how to handle himself very well.
How is
the scripture
how is
just read.
Ricard looking?
Currently, as he entered, he kind of again took the hat off and pulled down the mask that covers his face. He's glaring kind of down, and you see his eyes kind of squinted past his long, darkish grey hair. He looks like he's thinking, but there's also an innate sense of, I wouldn't say it's fear, but kind of an anger and tension mixed together in a way. He's not trying to hide his current emotional body language. He's very easy to read. He doesn't feel like he can protect himself. He's gone silent ever since the mention of getting his memories back. Well, I suppose that's my business with you concluded. I would ask for a name, not of your individuals necessarily, but of the group. Something to remember you by, so that I can actually put it down in ledgers, so that if I need to pay you more gold, I can pay you more gold. It doesn't have to be spectacular, it can be one of the party members' names. I need something.
Oh god.
Well, you just put us on the spot.
Okay, give us like half an hour.
Yeah, like give us a minute here.
We've
Okay,
got to
right,
think
out
of
of
a name,
character,
a chant, a
brainstorm.
handshake.
Everyone out of character.
All of us
Brainstorm.
huddle in a
Yeah,
circle.
huddle in the...
Just a little.
Okay, just saying, no one give me that gem thing, so I'll probably send Mordio.
No,
You should do that. That's the best idea
shh,
ever.
don't talk about it so loudly.
You send your owl through, I promise you,
No,
I'll
I'm saying that out of character. I'm not saying that as a regatta. That's not something you can say. Not got as much of a sense of humor. Alright. Maybe it should be the first letter of each of our names.
Oh, that's cheesy. Also, no one has. We all have consonants as our first names, I do believe.
Oh, that's even better.
No,
so it'd be
just-
like,
Just
We
make the sound of throwing up, and that's what it is.
Alright.
Hey, DM, how about couldn't you have told us beforehand so we wouldn't
Yeah.
have to
We have no
do
idea.
this now?
I could have told you beforehand. If you guys want to skip past this, and we'll actually say
Yeah,
say that you
'cause-
came up with a name and gave it to him, so you guys
Yeah,
can discuss
Something
it after
really
the session.
cool.
How about we sort out how to
I'm
sort it
on a
out
random
after?
name generator.
Yeah.
Ah, I see that your name is Bank. I will write this down.
Big TD.
Epic band names.
So with this information, you should be able to get on your way. I'm going to keep your friend Richard for a while. We have some things to discuss, I'm afraid, although you will meet him again once the parts are collected, or possibly even on your way to collect them. Who knows? Your paths may cross again. I doubt it, but who knows?
All right. I think we can be off then.
Oh, certainly. Leave.
I did grab my top, by the way. I
Yeah.
didn't specify, but yeah.
Again,
Let's get
you
out
also
of here.
take the 1,000 gold pieces and leave the other.
Absolutely. And I take
said
the stone.
dibs. I said dibs.
You did
I'm gonna
say
hand it
dibs.
out evenly.
You did? You
because
said
I'm-
dibs? Okay.
I said dibs as soon as he mentioned there's a massive sack
Okay,
of
I didn't heard.
Yeah,
I didn't hear
it's
that,
true.
but I take the stone.
Yeah,
of course,
it's
you take the magic
it's
stone.
really interesting. It's almost heavy, but it's got this kind of it feels heavy, but it feels like you could throw it far. That's the way to describe it. It
How
feels
many
like
people are-
almost a
Drop it
plastic
and
bottle
see if
with
it
water in
breaks.
it, if you would.
How many people
So I
are in
could
the group?
flip it and then possibly dab.
Possibly.
Don't you'll break it.
Oh,
Wait, how many people are in the group? There's
A bunch of us.
6.
only 6. It's 1,000, wasn't it?
We'll do the
skills
maths
happening
later.
Right here.
Did I get my other gold back? I didn't.
No,
course it did.
he just
Yeah,
gave.
so
Take
it's
that
1,000
gold
gold.
from
It's
the
1,000
prison
gold,
stuff.
right?
Meh, I had my other gold. My other gold.
So we get 166.6 recurring gold.
I assume you guys leave the office.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. After taking the items, no farewells as he just sits there in his chair looking at a very distressed-looking Richard. They leave, and you find yourself currently walking out of the Elven Embassy.
We're off to go to Fortuné, the wonderful.
Or, wait,
Follow
where
the
are
yellow
we on the
brick.
map right now?
You are, I can ping, can't I?
Wilds, aren't we?
If you look at the map, the yellow blip.
Why don't we just
Uh,
go to
We're all
Vador's
the way up.
Tears then? He said there was one there. If that's where we are.
Yeah.
then it's right
Well, he
there.
said that we should go to the thing first, but how
Continent.
far?
Well, what we could do is we can go to the continent, come back because it's in here, and I'm guessing where he said dark, he's obviously talking about the Underdark. Guessing.
Oh, maybe.
Because he said a place that is dark and I don't want to go. Obviously the Underdark, and that could be anywhere. Hopefully it's
Under
like
its bed. It's pretty
hopefully
scary
it's-
there.
Okay, are
Doesn't
we
wanna
like?
try.
Are we? I wait until we're a good distance away, like preferably in the forest or somewhere, you know,
he's gonna
where
be
there's
watching
nobody.
time or something.
No, I want to talk plans. Fuck this dude. Fuck this mission.
Agree.
Fuck you.
Well, you guys have fun with that.
I have an idea.
Yes, Tim.
hmm
Can we make a bomb?
A
bomb.
bomb.
A really
I
big
feel like
bomb.
we're going straight to violence, guys.
Tia, listen. Sorry, but doesn't matter.
Pav kind of speaks up. I don't think. Oh god, that's too much. Hold on.
Slightly more female.
I don't
Hold
think
on,
a bomb
hold on.
is a good idea because the man doesn't seem very nice, and I don't think he'd like it.
I agree.
Well, that's sort of the point.
Tia, listen.
Yes,
Has
what?
thousands of thousands people high up.
3 countries, did he say?
3
That's a lot.
There's more than 3 countries in this world. I would know. I'm a scholar.
Yes, and we can't take one of them.
Look, I think what we should do is it says and play by his rules.
This
At
sucks.
least for now.
Yes.
Fine.
Wait,
But
just saying, right?
if
If-
something goes wrong, we can still
Bokar
stand.
always been a figure like high up since the start? We just know, was he like a
Bokar's I'll tell you this because this is something three of you would know. That being the people who weren't in prison. Bokar is a very weird name. It's basically the rough idea of some kind of politician that basically appeared for Kalar. However, there's been a lot of kind of mystery around him. He was a well-known collector that became a political figure, and he has been pretty much running the Council of Kalar, and he put in royalty, or he's trying to put in royalty into the kingdom. But as he was saying this, you guys also know that he's supposed to be a diplomat between the Elven kingdoms to the north and the kingdom of Kalar. So he's supposed to be.
I'm going to explain this to everyone.
Yeah, you kind of catch this up at this moment, but he's supposedly a high elven figure in this position, but you don't know where he was born. You just know that he's some kind of collector that became a politician that is currently in a leading role in the Council of Kalar after the champion died.
He said he's trying to bring in royalty. Is he included in this royalty? Is he trying to make himself
Didn't Ricard say something about him really trying to put himself in there and
Ricard,
get a worse position of power?
yeah, Ricard did talk about him having some not god complex. He wants to be better in a better place. He wants to be kind of leading in that leading role all the time. He's not a very passive person.
I wish I could go back to the Horde, but since that's out of the question, I guess I don't have much of a choice.
Be the only.
This doesn't mean we trust him. We just have to go along with this for a while.
No, I know. I just kind of wish I could go back there and join the rebellion. That's sort of what I want to, but I'm not really wanted there, so...
Look, I think what we just have to do is set up. He said Fortuné, that is a long trek. He said Old God's Rest, and just as far. So we have to decide now. So either we go to Old God's Rest or...
I want to get away from this place. It will be almost like a vacation if we pretend hard enough.
Very good idea.
Let's go to the sands.
Okay.
Let's go.
Alright.
And then our team set off. And then they died.
All the
Six members of the party.
Sorry?
6 members. Is it a 6-party thing?
Yes, there are 6 members in the party currently.
Out of the 1,000 gold, then why don't we each have 100 and then have 400 for just party funds?
Ah, yes,
Good idea.
about this gold.
So, like,
Yes.
yeah, that divides it easily.
I'm holding the gold right now.
Am I alright to have 150 of it?
Why?
So it would be 100 each, and then 400 left
What's
over
the
just for party.
I won't be joining you guys on this. It's not really my sort of thing. I mean,
Well, Athena, it's not really my sort of thing. I think you've heard me complaining quite loudly, but you can't just branch off on your own little fun time adventures.
I think he is.
I've got my
doing
own stuff to do.
murder.
Ow! I struck a deal with you. I'll go. I'll hold up the coin. I'm gonna do more research into these. I'll see if I can get you another one, and because I'm pretty sure there's more out there. I'll go do that.
As she talks about that, you kind of feel the sun on your face, Tia. The warmth of Sol.
I try to still look angry, but it's hard.
Yeah.
Wait, we're going to like a desert place. Sol is gonna love it then.
That's where she lives.
Yeah, that's where she lives.
I'll also chuck Tia the sword as well.
Well, it's
The
my
other sword.
damn sword, so...
Yeah, and I'll just hold up just what's left of my rapier. I also need to go get this fixed and sorted.
Do you have... This is uncharacteristic of me, but Athena, do you have any weapons on you?
You have a shard of glass.
Shard of glass.
Take the sword.
Look, we can stop buy weapons on.
Take
I'll,
the sword for now. Stay
I'll-
safe.
I'll make sure to return it.
What we do if we go to this is Pava. If we go to a blacksmith's in a town, and then it's really hard not to do a deep veil kind of. We go to a blacksmith, and then go to a town.
It got worse.
I know it did, but I'm rolling with it.
Bit.
Then she can get her sword fixed. And then you can have the sword back, and we can go to the sands.
Good plan, Pav.
That sounds fine. Yeah,
Fine by me.
we need to stock up anyway. I think we might need some traveling equipment. ropes and rations and such.
Right, very well. The party.
Also,
Oh.
the rest of you need clothes, because you're not. You're going to just sweat yourself to death in those outfits.
Honestly, I think it's.
So, the party, you guys will continue walking down the road, and we'll end the session there as you guys leave the Elven Embassy after devising a plan, off to the
Right.
side.
Epic victory music.
I would do the epic victory music, but it's too late.
Tia mutters something about, oh, life was so simple when we only had to deal with fucking vampires.
Oh yes, vampires. That's gonna be fun.
Right,
And
thank you for anybody who watched this episode. The next one will be up at some point when I upload them.
Fuckers.
Thank you, fuckers.
Oh,
Quickly alienate the audience so they won't.
too much.